Why Alan Ritchson won't consider a Reacher movie. It would probably do a disservice. Alan Ritchson explains why he's not interested in doing a Reacher movie. Prime Video's breakaway action hit just wrapped up Season 3, an adaptation of Lee Child's book Persuader, pitting Jack against a haunting figure from his past and his gigantic henchman. With Reacher Season 4 still to come, the idea has been floated that it's time to take Ritchson's hulking TV hero to the big screen, expanding the franchise's scope beyond its current streaming platform. Alan Ritchson explains why he's not interested in doing a Reacher movie. Prime Video's breakaway action hit just wrapped up Season 3, an adaptation of Lee Child's book Persuader, pitting Jack against a haunting figure from his past and his gigantic henchman. With Reacher Season 4 still to come, the idea has been floated that it's time to take Ritchson's hulking TV hero to the big screen, expanding the franchise's scope beyond its current streaming platform. But Ritchson himself is not among those calling for a Reacher movie, explaining that he thinks abandoning the 8-episode TV format in favor of one-off movies would do a disservice to the books by a men's journal. I can't speak to movies. I enjoy the format that we've got so much, and it works so well where we do a book a season. I think 8 episodes seem to be the perfect amount of time to break out a book. I think it would probably do a disservice to the books. I don't know if I'd fight for films. I like being able to weave in what feels like 2, 3, or 4 films around Reacher throughout the year. I'm happy with the way things are. What Ritchson's movie remarks mean for the Reacher franchise. Child's Jack Reacher first hit the big screen back in 2012, with no less a cinematic eminence than Tom Cruise in the role. Fans of the book scoffed at the relatively diminutive Cruise playing a character famous for his imposing physical dimensions, but his Jack Reacher proved reasonably successful, grossing $218 million on a budget of $60 million. Cruise returned for 2016's Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, which grossed a modest $162 million. As much as hardcore child fanatics disliked Cruise's Reacher, that's how high they have been on Ritchson's interpretation of the character throughout Reacher's Prime Video run. Ritchson's own career has exploded thanks to the hit show, landing him in major movies like Fast X, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, and the upcoming Arnold Schwarzenegger holiday action comedy Team Up the Man with the Bag. It sounds from his remarks as though Ritchson is content to keep doing Reacher on streaming, while continuing to pursue a parallel movie star path. Should things not work out for him on the big screen, Ritchson will always have Reacher, whose adventures could seemingly go on for many more years with the character likely never changing one single iota. Our take on Ritchson not wanting Reacher movies. Alan Ritchson has redefined what it means to play Jack Reacher. Since stepping into the towering shoes of Lee Child's literary legend for Prime Video's Reacher, Ritchson has won over audiences with his intense physicality, steely gaze, dry humor, and unwavering moral compass. Fans who once questioned the casting, still haunted by Tom Cruise's smaller, flashier take, have now fully embraced Ritchson as the definitive Reacher. But despite the show's success, and with blockbuster adaptations becoming more lucrative than ever, Ritchson has made it clear he has no interest in doing a Reacher movie. Why? In his own words, it would probably do a disservice. This unexpected stance deserves a closer look. In an era when streaming stars often leap at the chance to headline a big screen adaptation, Ritchson's decision feels almost revolutionary. It's not about ego or missed opportunity. It's about protecting something sacred, the integrity of Reacher as a character and the world that has been so meticulously built for him. A series that honors the books. One of the main reasons Ritchson won't pivot to a Reacher film is because he believes the format of a television series is what allows the show to do justice to the books. Lee Child's Reacher novels are intricate, slow-burning thrillers, each clocking in at several hundred pages. They're not just about action, they're about suspense, procedural problem-solving, relationships, and above all, Reacher's inner code. Condensing one of these stories into a 2-hour movie would almost certainly strip away the nuance that fans love. Ritchson understands this. In interviews, he's spoken about how the serialized format allows the show to explore character moments, quiet tensions, and emotional layers that a movie simply wouldn't have time for. Each season is like a novel come to life, Ritchson has said. We're not skipping beats. We're honoring the story. The ghost of the Cruise films. Of course, any discussion about a Reacher movie inevitably leads back to the two Tom Cruise films, Jack Reacher 2012 and Jack Reacher, Never Go Back 2016. While Cruise brought his usual star power to the role, fans of the books were quick to point out the glaring disparity between the Reacher on the page and the one on screen. At 5'7", Cruise lacked the imposing physical presence that defines Reacher. The films leaned into slick action over character depth, ultimately failing to capture what makes the book special. While Ritchson has been respectful in addressing the Cruise versions, there's no question that his approach is a response to what those films got wrong. He wants to be the Reacher that fans always envisioned, a literal giant, a man of few words but immense presence, a drifter who commands every scene not just with force but with quiet authority. By turning down a movie, Ritchson is signaling that he's not interested in repeating the same mistake. He knows a 2-hour theatrical experience might demand compromises he's unwilling to make. Keeping Reacher grounded. Another reason a movie wouldn't work? Budget and scale. Ironically, a bigger budget could actually be a problem for Reacher. The Prime Video series is impressive, but it remains grounded. The action is gritty and realistic. Reacher gets bruised, bleeds, and doesn't always come out unscathed. That vulnerability is part of what makes the show resonate. It feels real. In a movie, especially one designed for theaters, there'd be a temptation to go bigger. Explosions, chase sequences, international stakes. It could all overshadow the blue-collar charm that makes Reacher so compelling. Alan Ritchson isn't just protecting the format, he's protecting the soul of the character. Reacher works best in long form. One of the most appealing aspects of the Reacher series is how it allows stories to breathe. A single season can spend entire episodes letting a mystery unravel, giving time for secondary characters to matter and for themes to mature. From Season 1's slow unraveling of a conspiracy in Margrave to Season 3's intense web of deceit and betrayal, the show respects its audience enough not to rush. That kind of patience just doesn't translate to a movie. With the time crunch, writers would need to cut corners, simplify the plot, streamline Reacher's journey, and probably sideline key supporting players like Neagley or Finley. And Ritchson knows fans wouldn't forgive that. Nor would he. "I want Reacher to be authentic," he said. "We've created something that finally feels like the books, and I don't want to lose that. The fans come first." Ritchson's dedication to the fans is another driving force behind his decision. He knows the readers have waited years to see a proper live-action version of their hero. And now that they finally have it, he's not willing to gamble that away for a flashy, but potentially shallow, cinematic adaptation. He frequently engages with fans, takes time to understand what they love about the books, and makes sure the show reflects that. To him, Reacher isn't just a role, it's a responsibility. "If I were to do a movie and it didn't deliver," he mused in one interview, "I'd feel like I betrayed what we've built." TV has become the new prestige. It's also worth noting that television, particularly on platforms like Prime Video,